This video is sponsored by Squarespace. How does one company go from outsourcing their animations to series like Miraculous Ladybug and Sonic Boom, just barely making a profit, to single-handedly creating one of the biggest franchises to hit Korea this century? SAMG Entertainment was a little-known company before 2014, but by 2025 has been mentioned in tandem with character companies like Sanrio, stated that they aim to become an entertainment juggernaut like Disney, and has been successful enough that the South Korean government is investing 1.5 trillion won into the promotion of Korea's animation industry. That's $1 billion US. And all of this, in part, thanks to little alien creatures the size of an apple. Catch Teenieping is a massive franchise in Korea right now, and it's only been around for 5 years. You might even recognize it if you've ever scrolled the homepage of Netflix or maybe have a toddler in your life. Even so, it all seems so sudden. Where the heck did this show come from? One day it doesn't exist, and the next it's breaking domestic box office records previously held for over a decade. But Teenieping's rise was anything but an accident. In fact, CEO Soo-hoon Kim knew exactly what he was doing. I don't often get the chance to talk about newer magical girl series here. I'm usually gushing about and rediscovering the classics, but Catch Teenieping is a series I follow and has surprised me multiple times, so I'm itching to share its really incredible and honestly under-discussed history and lore. I would have loved to do so while sporting some Teenieping drip, but tariffs are crazy, and I refuse to pay close to $200 in shipping costs, so the show must go on. But first, let me tell you about this video's sponsor, Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one website platform designed to help you stand out and make your mark online. They have tons of pre-made website templates to choose from to give your page a clean look, but it's also designed to be extremely customizable and user-friendly, so you can personalize your site to fit your own needs. Squarespace's built-in analytics tools make it so you can track traffic and SEO on your website and figure out which pages are bringing the most pull. And I found setting up my shop to list physical items I've sold recently to be really easy with their simple tools. Now, if only I could make some more products to sell. We're reopening in 2026, guys, I promise. So if you're looking to take that leap towards the business of your dreams, head over to squarespace.com/Doreimani for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, use code Doreimani to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. And thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Now, the rise of Teenieping really begins with one declaredly single man, Soo-hoon Kim, a guy born in June 1974 with a deep love for 3D animation that began in the 1990s. Understandably so. Pixar's Toy Story released in 1995 with massive critical acclaim under its belt, being the first feature-length 3D animated movie. The rest is history. But it inspired young artists like Soo-hoon. In fact, he was so inspired that he dropped out of the Department of Electrical Engineering that he was studying at a university in Busan and sought to learn 3D animation through self-study. Yep, this man didn't even study art or animation formally in school, but what he did learn was through experience. While he spent the late 90s working in computer assembly, he used his spare time to do freelance work. In 1998, he was even commissioned to produce the opening title for the 3rd Busan International Film Festival, known for being the first international film festival in Korea. At this time, he even collaborated with other experts in the US and Korea to create Selma, Korea's first fully 3D animated film. It's not widely revered, but I was able to find some early sketches and model sheets of the film. Clearly, it had a mecha-inspired theme. But the point is, Soo-hoon Kim was getting the work done. He was gaining experience, and this led him to establish his own company in July 2000, of which he became the CEO, Samji Animation. Samji literally meaning 3 Gs in Korean, those Gs being Global Graphic Group. At the time, South Korea's 3D animation scene was in its infancy, but Samji was spreading its name elsewhere, making business in global territories. It became the first company in Asia to sign a joint production agreement with France for a 3D animation project in 2003 for a show called La Famille Euf, or Odd Family. This opened the door to many more co-production projects Samji would share with French production companies like Philippe Monnier Marketing Production, I hope I pronounced that right, and Timoon Animation, now Huido Productions, like My Giant Friend, Monk Little Dog, and Fish and Chips. Now, the quality of each of these shows is debatable. I sure had an entertaining time reading the page of the one and only fan-compiled encyclopedia on New Qualitypedia, saying, imagine when you mix Tom and Jerry, Looney Tunes, SpongeBob SquarePants, M&M commercials, Caillou, Peppa Pig, Le Petit Diable, and Rats. You get this piece of annoying abomination. Ouch. But it didn't really matter because Samji was making a name for itself, and that name meant quality. They were drawing attention from potential foreign partners for their advanced CGI production skills, and this all came to a distinguishable head when they partnered with ZAG Entertainment, Method Animation, and the legendary Toei Animation to produce Miraculous, Tales of Ladybug, and Cat Noir in 2015. Now, I can't speak from a critical standpoint on the common critiques of Miraculous's drawn-out romances and plot lines. In fact, I had the uniquely hilarious experience on this channel 2 years ago of asking my audience if I should react to Miraculous Ladybug. This was back when I did reactions, and the show's fans begging me not to do that to myself. So I listened. I haven't watched it. But what became clear through Samji Animation's involvement in the series' first 5 seasons was that their work made a difference. The episodes that Samji participated in were revered as some of the best animated in the series by fans on YouTube, and the announcement of their pull from the series in season 6 earlier this year sparked concern and quality debates among these same fans. If one thing was certain, Samji meant quality. But let's rewind, back up a bit, because what good is quality if we're not making a pretty good chunk of change from this, am I right? I mean, understandably so. If you have a team of 100+ people to pay and feed, of course profit is going to be a concern. And even with their high quality animations being praised and outsourced, they would never see a cent from the licensing and merchandising of these properties. They are not the copyright holder. Samji realized that if they wanted to stay in business and maintain long-term growth, they would need to not only maintain their strength in technology, but become the owner of their own IP as well. Samji Animation didn't change its name to SAMG Entertainment, marking the clear shift from an animation studio into a global digital content company until 2021, but I'd say the transition began as early as 2014 with the launch of their second IP, Miniforce. As you can probably tell just by looking at it, it's very Super Sentai coded, replacing the human aspect with cute little animal creatures who fight for justice against bad guys. And Miniforce is actually quite popular among its target audience in Korea. It gets renewed for new seasons every year with different themes, and it excels in the toy department as well. Naturally, with a successful boy series, SAMG sought to create a successful series for girls as well, but this time, the approach would be different. Planning for Catch Teenieping began in 2017. Back in this time, can you believe that that was almost 9 years ago? Most children's animation for girls in South Korea centered around princess protagonists. You know, peak Frozen era. But SAMG was thinking big. They looked at what was working across various age groups worldwide and created a narrative series accordingly. There would be a princess-like protagonist, but she'd have elements of transformation and solving community problems because of the popularity of magical girl stories around ages 4 to 9. Rather than focusing on human characters, SAMG chose to put multiple little fairy helpers at the forefront of the series instead. And these little fairies would represent different emotions: love, happiness, courage, and fear. With so many different emotions and feelings to represent with these characters, the idea of collecting them all could be easily integrated. It was a concept relatively new to Korea, but had already proven popular globally. Basically, imagine mixing Pokemon, Precure, Cardcaptor Sakura, Sanrio, a little bit of Snow White, and My Little Pony all into one series. Yeah, it's safe to say not everyone saw the vision. Soohoon Kim spoke of this, saying, "Initially, 8 out of 10 major retailers rejected the idea, insisting that an animation without a princess as the lead character would not succeed. But SAMG saw the open market. If works of this nature could do well in other countries, then they could do well in Korea." And they weren't thinking small either, because from the start, Teenieping wasn't just designed to be a standalone series, it was built with the intention of becoming a full-fledged franchise. Teenieping was designed as a franchise from the outset. Given that animation takes over 5 years to plan and produce, making failure an expensive risk, we considered everything from character design and toys to global expansion from the start. These were Kim's words when interviewed by Chosun Daily this past March. With the ultimate goal of moving forwards and not moving backwards, it was important to make Teenieping as marketable as possible. Cute, small designs, large, bug-eyed heads with small, stubby little bodies. That same face syndrome that make these creatures both undeniably Teeniepings and also quite easy to implement again with a different formula in future renditions. And not to mention how these designs would translate to physical toys. Since 2016, SAMG Entertainment realized there's more money to be made if they built their toys in-house rather than partnering with an outside production company. They've been producing their own toys ever since. This operation is so tightly wrapped that the toy team is heavily involved from the very start of the animation production stage. Kim says, "Even when featuring small props in animations, we consult with our dedicated toy team to determine if they can be implemented realistically. Since our target audience is IP enthusiasts, we approach them as content rather than mere products." And that's the heart of it. Teenieping is an IP with multiple business ventures and revenue streams intertwined. Toys, broadcasts, retail products, possible theatrical releases, you name it. But even after investment with a fickle market, success is never guaranteed. Oh, but when Catch Teenieping hit, it hit big. I want to paint the picture for you. It's March 2020. Yes, March 2020. The global pandemic has just begun. Families are stuck at home with limited ways to entertain their little ones, but a brand new series with colorful mascots and episodes that encourage viewers to see what new character appears next week hits the airwaves. It was a perfect storm. Yes, Catch Teenieping debuted on KBS2 in South Korea on March 19th of 2020, with an 11-minute runtime per episode, 52 episodes in its first season, and Ryota Yamaguchi from Japan at the helm of the writers department, who previously worked on Sailor Moon Supers and Sailor Stars, Cutie Honey Flash, and Doki Doki Precure, a magical girl veteran. It was an instant success among its target audience. Romy is a princess from the Emotions Kingdom, tasked with capturing all of the Teeniepings who were scattered across Earth after an accidental release from their gate cubes. Romy must assimilate to life in the Earthling location of Harmony Town with her cousin Sarah, all while keeping her identity a secret from her friends. And yeah, it's a pretty typical sounding magical girl story setup. Romy has 5 different transformations, courtesy of the 5 royal Teeniepings that help her capture more of these little aliens along the way, each outfit varying in color, design, and theme. I of course started with season 1 back when my friend Maho Cloud suggested I start the series about a year ago. And I'll admit, I was a little skeptical. There was something so uncanny about the Teeniepings in a way that just screamed marketable plushie to me. And if I'm being honest, that feeling hasn't entirely gone away. But after a few episodes, I actually found myself enjoying the series. Romy's an enjoyable protagonist, Heartsping and most other Teeniepings are adorable, and the story is simple enough to follow along without using too much brain power. Being the magical girl enthusiasts that we are, we'd often debate which one of Romy's princess transformation forms was the best. For season 1, it's got to be Princess Claudia for me, even if I think the corresponding royal Teenieping, Dataping, is kind of annoying. I'm usually a purple enthusiast, but this outfit for season 1 just didn't do much for me. Lalaping was done dirty, if you ask me. But it doesn't even end there, because remember, Catch Teenieping was built to be a franchise. When season 1 ended in 2021, season 2, Twinkle Catch Teenieping, was there to take its place with Romy and Heartsping searching for a whole new, how should I say it, ethnicity of Teenieping's nationality? They come from the Jewel Forest in season 2, okay? With a shorter length of 26 episodes rather than the initial 52, future seasons of Teenieping became easier and quicker to digest, and better yet, with more earnings garnered from their own merchandise sales, the money could go right back into their work. The quality of the 3D animation visibly gets better and better, with each season being more extravagant than the last. I mean, look at this diva. Yeah, maybe I just wanted an excuse to show you Romi's Princess Ruby form in season 2, but can you really blame me? From Secret Catch Teenieping in 2022, Dessert Catch Teenieping in 2023, Star Catch Teenieping in 2024, and Princess Catch Teenieping, which just started airing a couple of months ago, year after year, the Teenieping brand continues to grow with new sets of characters, appealing themes, and marketable motifs every time. It's like Soo-Hoon Kim says, Teenieping doesn't rely on a single character. Each season expands the universe with new ones. Because each character has different personalities and traits, we've built a strategy around collecting them. But is all of this really enough to create a long-lasting franchise? Children are known to move on to other interests as they grow older. And with the growing concern of a record low birth rate in Korea in 2023, according to CNBC, Teenieping's success was destined for a decline if they didn't evolve their business model. If you want to become the Disney of Korea, you're going to have to expand your reach, expand your target demographic, and ultimately go global. A Catch Teenieping cinematic release, yes, you heard me, was first mentioned by SAMG in 2023. 11-minute episodes are great. Short and succinct, but the story and concept of the series can be expanded upon in a greater way with more time to spare. And so, production on Heartsping, Teenieping of Love, the movie, began. In the meantime, the company sought to create not just content and products for Teenieping fans, but experiences. Something that makes the Disney brand so loved is the way its in-person parks and locations bring people, young and old, together. Time spent with family and friends that can be remembered for years to come. Now, Teenieping might not have had the influence to open dedicated outdoor parks in multiple locations worldwide, but SAMG used their trendy resources. Teenieping World, a themed space, opened at Parnas Mall in Pangyo in December of 2023, with many pop-ups in places like Incheon, Gimhae, and Hongdae to follow. But the main draw, Teenieping World, is a beautiful family-oriented location, with 5 different rooms to emulate settings and scenes from the show. It's an actually immersive experience designed for kids to explore and for parents to marvel at. I feel the need to say actually immersive after that word has been used and abused by less than great fan experiences in recent years. I'm talking like I've been there. I've only seen pictures and videos on TikTok. But if I went to South Korea, I'd want to see it. It's that kind of attraction, and that was the idea SAMG had when investing their own resources into creating Teenieping World rather than outsourcing its creation. They know their IP better than anyone, after all, so they can create the best content and experiences fans will be happy with. And with such successful business ventures on top of toy sales, SAMG was able to turn right around and invest 5 billion won into the production of the Heartsping Teenieping of Love movie, about $3.4 million US. Now that sounds like a lot to me, but it's only a minute fraction of what the typical Disney or Pixar movie can cost. In other words, SAMG had its own limitations compared to the companies it was striving to become. But regardless, Kim wanted to create a film with a story that would emotionally resonate with not just the kids in the booster seats, but with their parents and teenage siblings in the seats adjacent. Heartsping Teenieping of Love opened in South Korean theaters on August 7th, 2024, and it was huge. An origin story of sorts, depicting the fateful meeting between a younger Princess Romi and a fearful Heartsping, and how the two overcame adversity to become not only partners, but soulmates. This movie hit the jackpot. I've only seen the smallest of clips from it on YouTube, and hell, even I cried, which is not saying much since I cry at most everything, but Trust me, this looks like a well-made movie. Word of mouth about the movie's good quality traveled so far that the next week on August 15th, the number of screens it played on in the country went up by 200, and by September 18th, just a month after its release, the movie garnered a total of over 1.05 million tickets sold and 1.25 million viewers to this day. Heartsping Teenieping of Love became the second highest grossing Korean animated film of all time, and the fifth highest among all animated features shown in Korea, the last movie reaching such a milestone over 12 years ago. Teenieping was already big in Korea, but this movie just pushed things over the edge, and in new ways. Emotion Castle, an online portal and a streaming service where people can watch SAMG shows, including Teenieping, jumped from 300,000 members in 2023 to 1.8 million by the end of 2024. New collaborations with K-pop companies like SM Entertainment and even motor vehicle companies like Hyundai were established, all part of SAMG's intention to extend the Teenieping brand's reach beyond just being a children's show and appealing to the wider audience that the movie helped garner. Suddenly, Teenieping wasn't a name exclusive to toys and kids' toothbrushes. With the expansion of a product line like Hachuryeon Senghwal, directly translating to a pleasant life, Teenieping goods targeting adults and cute character lovers can be found in GS25 convenience stores, notepads, stationery, acrylic keychains, all with cute, simplified 2D designs. Teenieping is marketing itself to be a cornerstone for pop culture in Korea. And why stop there? The first country Catch Teenieping started airing in outside of Korea was China in July 2021, with great reception and over 1.2 billion viewers by November of that year. With continued growing trends in Australia, North American Netflix, several European countries, and a broadcasting spot in Japan, the globalization of Teenieping is well underway. The boom of this series speaks not only for SAMG's efforts, but for the increased interest in South Korea's animation industry. So much so that this past April, Korea's Ministry of Culture, Sports, and Tourism announced a $1 billion investment plan, the basic plan for the promotion of the animation industry in South Korea. A plan to increase revenue growth and bring the number of industry workers from 6,000 to 9,000. Now, the plan itself, I don't know how you intend to achieve that while establishing Korean AI training datasets at the same time, but it's clear. Teenieping has been a pioneer for such an investment. Cute little beady-eyed alien creatures thought up 8 years ago, now worthy of $1 billion. But as much glazing as it sounds like I've done for the past 20 minutes or so, Catch Teenieping hasn't exactly been well received by everyone. In fact, many people familiar with the brand's name have opted to call it something else entirely. Well, a few other things. Pasanping, Lupangping, Dungkoping, and a nickname you can probably understand without me translating it, Cash Teenieping. These are all just a few of the nicknames this series has garnered over its few years on the air. Bankruptcy Ping, Wallet Thieving, or Profiteering Ping, there's not really a direct translation, and Spine Breaker Ping. Now, don't misunderstand, these nicknames weren't given to the series out of malice. Not entirely. Parents carry the hefty burden of buying or not buying the toys their children ask from them, and Teenieping, of course, occupies the top spot. And with new seasons and new toys coming out every year, it's left parents jokingly asking when they will see an end. Now, Catch Teenieping is certainly not unique in its commercialization and overall creation being a means to make a lot of money through merchandise. It's a common facet among magical girl series, but it's not even unique to the magical girl genre. Pokemon, Beyblade, Strawberry Shortcake, Transformers. Whether the merchandise or games came before the series or not, most kids shows are created with the same profit-oriented goal in mind. But that doesn't change how striking it is when an executive is willing to admit that to your face. In 2023, the then strategic planning director of Catch Teenieping, Min Jung Kim, came under fire for a comment she made in an interview with Subusu News. When asked if they'd heard of the phrase bankruptcy ping, Kim explained that they've talked about it amongst themselves. She even has a child of a young age too. People say things like People live off memories, right? The things that you see in an animation that remain in your mind are the things you saw when you were around this age, 4 to 7. During that time when kids are at their happiest, it's something that can help them make even more happy memories. So why be stingy about spending on it? Oh. Many commenters fired back on this video, reasoning that asking why you should be stingy seems like a really wrong thing to do. If you look at it that way, only parents who can buy their children everything they want can make them happy, so only they should have children. Another person said that it's really disgusting how they pretend to do things for the kids while making a living using those kids' memories as an excuse. And it's not unfounded criticism. Within my research for this video, I found it striking and honestly a little bit depressing that most articles and discussions about Catch Teenieping revolve around the franchise's financial gains rather than anything relating to the content itself. But I understand that's what the media is most likely to focus on. Nevertheless, it doesn't answer the question of why Teenieping's merchandise continues to go up in price every sequential year. This year's Princess Catch Teenieping that began airing in the fall marks the most expensive Teenieping transformation toys yet at around 100,000 won, with related products sold separately, bringing the total cost to a possible 200,000 won. That's about 136 US dollars. Now, as a Magical Girl toy collector and an avid Precure fan, that doesn't sound too shocking to me. It actually sounds pretty accurate. The technology of these toys continues to advance with built-in cameras, touch pads complete with mini games and caretaking mechanisms. Even so, that doesn't make the total sum of these products any less expensive for a bunch of plastic that your child could lose interest in as quickly as you bought it. And with one toy needed for another product to function, and so on, the prices quickly pile up. A business plan if you've ever heard one. But it's okay, right? As long as the quality is top of the line, there shouldn't be too much fodder. Well, like I mentioned earlier, SAMG Entertainment began producing their own toys through an in-house manufacturer in 2016. While this has been great for profits, complaints have risen from fans about the quality of the products they've made over the years. From Teenieping to Mini-Force and Metal Cardbot, defects have riddled the toys of SAMG's own properties. Incorrect assembly of joints, bent parts, and minor breakages that prevent pieces from being connected have all been reported among manufacturing issues. Though SAMG has managed to correct some of these problems in future production runs, it understandably leaves fans frustrated and wondering where their money is going if not towards the improvement of its products. But this is just one question among the many left to ask. The biggest one being, what's really the next step for Teenieping and SAMG? It's clear from their own words. SAMG wants to establish itself as not only the Disney of Korea, but as a global IP powerhouse like Nintendo, which are almost equally huge shoes to step inside of, but they believe they're on the right track for this long-term goal. This past April, the company hired a global strategist from TikTok to further connect global fandoms on YouTube, Netflix, and the like, and if anything, the massive spread of the Heartsping Teenieping of Love movie among older age groups is a good sign. With this in mind, SAMG is reportedly preparing a new IP that will further expand its target audience. But Teenieping might always be the face of this company. With Christmas festivals starring the Princess Catch Teenieping characters this month, intentions to expand in-person experiences to major cities overseas, a new movie planned for 2026, and a rebranding of their online store portal from Emotion Castle Store to The Teenieping. So chic. To me, it looks like the franchise is just getting started. Soohoon Kim told the press that he wants Teenieping to become a cherished memory even after 10 years. As long as they keep expanding and nurturing that emotional bond, he believes the brand can last as long as Mickey Mouse. I can't predict whether or not that will happen. but I can honestly say that I'm curious to see what comes next. Thank you for watching up until this point, and let me know if you'd like to see more production deep dives like this one. I love being nosy. Reminder, I have a Patreon if you'd like to support me. We're currently rewatching Sailor Moon Season 1 and doing baking crafts every month. Thank you again to Squarespace for sponsoring this video, and that is all I have for you today. I thank you for watching, and I thank you for being here, and I will see you in my dreams. Bye, friends.